Hello and Hilltop to the Hello and Welcoming podcast. We recommend SodaStream. Half the trouble, double the bubble. We have an extended episode for you this week, so I'll keep this short as ever. We are grateful for any ratings, reviews or feedback. We are active on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. You can email us at hello@billowinghilltop.com, or why not send us a postcard? Our address is number 69, Fiddler's Passage, Upper Gnomes Bottom, Billowingshire, D20 6HP, and Paul will add it to his copious sack. That's it. I have nothing more. Let's push on with episode 46 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast. Should I stay or should I go? Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening.
So my daughter came to me crying earlier.
Oh.
And she said, Daddy, what is a TPK? I've heard about these things. She was in tears, absolutely floods of tears beside herself.
Yes, good evening, everyone. We're talking about the situation that we find ourselves in.
Shout out to my son's girlfriend, who it turns out is also listening to the podcast.
Oh, really?
Hei, person I Norge. Velkommen til den bølgende podcasten på Bakketoppen.
There.
That's Norwegian, isn't it?
Hopefully, the recap duties go to either Lucas, who's trying to eat his supper, so let's just hope it's him, or Paul. 1 to 3, Lucas. 4 to 6, Paul. It is Lucas.
Unbelievable. Lucas, put down your Wiener Schnitzel.
Typical Parker's luck.
Put down your sausage. Put down the sauerkraut.
Put down your Gruyere.
Put down the fondue.
Yeah. And tell us about where we are. You don't need to get into too much detail, but a quick recap for our readers.
Got my my Swiss citizenship interview on Monday, actually. You have to go and have an interview with the local councillors.
Don't they all have to? Doesn't the entire Switzerland have to vote?
No, that's all. That used to be.
They stand on one hilltop
anymore.
and you stand on another.
No, but you have to do, like you do in the UK, you have to do a citizenship test.
Why do you want to
learn the name of the cantons and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, do you have to yodel and wear a cowbell?
Identify the Gruyere from something else.
Yeah. Your rusty's getting cold though, Lucas, so you're probably best...
So, the recap. So, basically, we wandered on past the mirror room after having defeated all of our doppelgangers.
Yes.
And we came into another room which was full of some interesting sort of scientific-like contraptions with some kind of headset with all sorts of weird wires, and who we thought was Hesti Testipod and Marvena. And then, after having talked to us, Hesti Testipod scuttled away and let a massive fireball loose on us, which did, how many? 10d6 damage?
Loads. 10 or 11, I think it was. Yeah.
So we were all completely decimated, at which point we basically all ran away back to this sort of barracks area, with the exception of Alessandra, who tried to engage Hesti Testipod and is now
running away as well.
Also running away, because now Hesti Testipod has turned into, if I remember correctly, some kind of weird ogre mage type thing.
It's orc.
Well,
orc.
An orc.
It was an orc, right?
A sort of berserker, like a
berserker.
With this just great axe. Looks like some sort of frosty great axe. That's right. Yeah.
And so now Burple, Parker, and Sessions are sort of hiding away in the office area where we found all the plans, and then Bugraft took it upon himself then to go back into the pool area, and when he turned up on the central pillar thing where the lever is and the ladder, he then viewed going off towards the east what obviously does appear to be a Mind Flayer.
That is pretty much perfectly summed up the
Except
situation.
it's west.
And we should point out that there was a lot of discussion about whether we really believe there was a Mind Flayer or not.
You've also missed out the fact that there were some pretty bad schoolboy errors made by everybody.
Oh, the fact that we didn't rest.
We didn't rest, we didn't heal, we didn't do any of that stuff, and we all just piled into the room in a very fireball-friendly fashion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's 160 years between us, D&D experience.
Yes. And,
Can we have an inventory of what everybody's got left?
That's a wise idea. Yeah, hit points, that kind of stuff would be useful to have a clear sense of.
So I have 4 hit points.
There's been a lot of, dear readers, there's been a lot of messaging during the week between the players about the situation that they find themselves in.
4 hit points and 1 first level spell. which is either a Cure Wounds or could be a Dissonant Whispers for 3d6 points of damage.
Okay.
That's what I got. That's all I got.
Should we go around the table? What about Alessandra then? I mean, what situation do you find yourself in?
Alessandra finds herself in a situation of 6 hit points. She's used her Misty Step.
Uh-oh. You're either talking a withdraw action or attacks of opportunity.
I can do a...
Oh, you've got a cunning action, haven't you?
I've got a cunning action, so I can do withdraw, then a move. Which
What's your speed?
My speed, it is 30.
How about Uncle Buggy?
Uncle Buggy is got 9 hit points, no spells. I mean, no, he's got cantrips. And he's got 1 rage.
What about Parker?
So I have 12 hit points, and I just discovered that I have, and more riches. I have 2 first level spells. I thought I only had 1, so I have 2 Cure Wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely frontline material.
The question is honestly, I mean, we want everyone attacking as much as possible, don't we?
Yeah. So I fancy
All
my
running away as
chances
much as
against
possible.
this ogre guy and these 2 doppelganger, but I don't fancy my chances against the Mind Flayer. So if Bugraft can come back in and close the door, then I think we might have a chance against these 2. The question is, do we get the opportunity for a 5-minute rest if we can hide away in these cubby holes?
The other thing you've got to bear in mind is that Bugraft is, as it were, 1 foot off into space. Yes, I know he's not, Johnny. Don't worry, don't stress. But he's taking a split-second decision at this very second as to whether or not to jump off the pillar and into the water. Sessions, what about you? How do things look?
Well, Sessions is in the very unusual situation that he's on 12 hit points, hasn't taken damage in some time, so it took a while to remember how to record that.
Mm-hmm.
I have 1 first level spell left.
You lucky bastard.
You lucky bugger.
But the thing that I've discovered that I am rather chuffed with is I still have 2 uses of my channel divinity.
Oh.
And the Cloak of Shadows
worrying about
sounds
nothing.
very, very appealing.
What sort of healing does that do?
What?
Channel divinity.
No, it doesn't do healing. It does Cloak of Shadows.
Okay.
Okay. What was that sneaky away type thing?
That sneaky away type thing.
Oh, Bugraft is so jealous.
Let's pick things up with the readied action of this Mind Flayer, who has been waiting for somebody to out.
Did he have a readied action? Why would he have a readied action?
Just say readied action. Oh.
Why would he be
So as you
ready?
recall, Bugraft, you ran out on this sort of causeway towards the pillar in the middle of this room full of water.
Why would he
And
be
as
readying
you
an
did
action?
so, it raised its arm and pointed at you because it had been waiting for one of you to come running out. And as soon as you ran into its field of view, it is firing off the spell that it had decided that it would fire at anyone that came up.
Does
that
he really think
way.
people are going to come out that door? I mean,
Oh.
I'm only a small hobbit.
A black beam of enervating energy springs from the Mind Flayer's finger towards you. I've got to make a roll to see if I can hit you. Rolling. What's hitting armor class? 18 plus.
Yeah, it's a hit.
And so you.
What sort of thing is it? I might have some protection.
It is a necromantic effect.
Oh.
And on a hit, you only now deal half damage with any weapon attack that uses strength until the end of the spell. You get to make a constitution saving throw at the end of each of your turns, but you are affected for the moment.
Slightly weedy, you mean?
Move enfeebled.
Yeah, you're a bit weedy. Now, you've got a decision to make. You're poised with 2 squares of movement left
Yeah.
at the edge of this platform.
Yes.
What would you like to do with the remaining movement that you have?
I'm going to pretend that his beam has basically finished me off, and I'm going to do a sort of Hollywood style and fall off
Into the water.
Into the water. Can you make a deception check, please?
Alright, deception is +0.
Oh, he gets natural. No, that was mine.
No, that's Mike.
Alright, me. Okay.
No, that was me rolling my.
Am I going to do a practice
that's
roll?
me rolling my insight check.
Yeah.
Is this a practice roll or is it the real one? It doesn't really matter.
It's the real one.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Oh,
16.
So 16. Okay, let's see. Okay, well, okay. And you jump off the edge. Is that it? Is that all you can do?
That's no movement to fall off, is it?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got 2 more squares movement, so I'm swimming.
Oh, okay. You don't think that's going to undermine the... Okay.
Swimming around the edge. No,
Okay.
but I plop in the water.
Yes.
And then I'm swimming below.
There's no
the
need
water.
for that.
He is knocking on a bit.
So I am now out of vision, aren't I? Because I'm hiding behind.
That's
the pillar.
right. You're about 15 feet below the level of the floor,
I can
as it
come
were.
up. Well, and I'll stay below for the water because.
Okay.
You've just done a Daffy Duck death, haven't you?
Okay. So you faked your own death, basically.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yes, fast. Efficient.
Okay. The next in initiative order is Sessions Epa. What would you like to do?
Well, now that Uncle Buggy is bugged out, I'm wondering whether...
Am I right in thinking that all of the doors between Burple, Parker and Sessions and the mirrored room and the room that Hesty Testapod or whoever it is was in and all of that, they're all closed, yeah?
Yeah.
I think they're currently open.
I think I closed the final door. I was last to move. I closed the one in the corridor that we're in.
Yeah.
anybody
Unfortunately,
close the door?
Alessandra is going to have to open the doors as she comes through.
Well, this is what I'm trying to establish. It's not come up yet, but I just want to make sure. And you might want to know that before you act, so that because I don't know, after some misplaced
I
sense
seem
of...
to remember Alessandra. She opened the first door coming out of the big room, and then she couldn't open the second one.
That's right. The
That's
door
where we
leading
stopped.
from where Alessandra currently is
It's
in the little
closed.
passageway into the room with mirrors is definitely closed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the room that leads off the main corridor towards the mirrored room is closed. It's whether or
Yeah.
not the door in between the mirrored room and the antechamber is closed.
No, it's
Sorry,
not.
readers. None of this is making any sense to
No,
you.
it's not.
Okay, so
because-
you've got 2 closed doors between
Yes.
Alessandra and you guys.
Yes.
Fine. That's all I need to know. Right.
That's okay.
Sorry, Sessions. Interrupted your round.
So just to remind me about the room, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
With the ladder up is a pillar, so it's solid, and at the top is
Yes.
the lever.
That's right.
And the pathway from the door to the pillar, is that a bridge? So that
There's a 10-foot wide pillar of stone in the centre, rising to a point 10 feet above the top of the water. So you're 10 feet down, Uncle Buggy. And there's a stone platform 50 feet above the floor of the room, and therefore 10 feet above the water, because there's 40 feet of water. Yes? Leads to a locked door. I'm saying that's a platform, therefore it's not a solid adjutment of stone that,
Right, so
that
you
is 50
could-
foot tall.
you can be underneath it in the water.
You
in
could be
effect.
underneath it. It's a diving board, basically, yes.
Yeah.
But it's stone and it's built out.
And just for clarity, the Mind Flayers are at what level?
The Mind Flayer is at the same level as the door, the platform, and the top of the pillar, all 10 foot above the water level. There were 2 creatures with the Mind Flayer.
Yeah.
They look like odd purpley blue, sort of skinned, white-haired, sort of elfin creatures in light black clothing, carrying scimitars with bows slung over their backs.
Awesome. What's the plan, Graham?
I don't know, I'm thinking I might jump into the water.
He's had his attack of opportunity, or his ready to action, rather, hasn't he?
Yeah. What do you think? Stay or go?
Well, it depends if they come into the water after us or not.
Yeah.
That's what it basically boils down to.
We don't know the answer to that.
My theory is they're waiting there because they can't come across the water. And that lever moves this walkway round to where they are so that they can walk across and pull the lever.
We could do that.
That's a theory.
I thought it was raising and lowering the water level, but could be either.
What do you think, Graham?
I don't know. I
Johnny's
don't think
committed.
we want to be fighting on 2 sides, do we?
I still don't get the mechanism of this water thing, by the way.
No.
I must be missing something.
You and me both.
I mean, going does seem like the prudent course,
Run away. I think that's probably the way to go, isn't it?
but can we all do that?
Move, I can get into the water where Uncle Buggy is.
Yeah, move. I can get to the water. Parker's next,
Quicker.
isn't he? Parker's quicker. I reckon they've had their ready to action.
It's now or never, isn't it?
Move, yes, I can.
Yeah.
We'll all be in the water this round. Next round, we can swim to the other chamber, and we're away.
We can
Yeah,
try.
but then we lose all the advantage
Let's do
of
it.
finishing off these 2. We could swim through the water to the other side, take a 5-minute rest,
See if they follow.
and then come back.
Yeah, but you don't get your spells back then.
Yeah, but I get all my key points back,
You do, the rest of us
and
are
I get
just...
hit points.
So you come back by yourself.
Okay, I think I'm moving into the water.
Sessions on his little legs is going
Yeah.
to waddle
Waddle.
back down the corridor, take a hard left, run down the little platform and jump
into the water where Uncle Buggy is.
Okay, Parker.
Well, if you're all going to run away, then I've really got no option, have I?
No, you don't.
I can move out of the office room, open the door to Burple.
Yep, that's your free interaction with an object.
Do a cure wounds on Burple.
Yep.
Thank you.
Look
at that.
Lovely. 1d8 plus 2 is 10 points of healing on Burple.
Awesome.
Very nice.
And then move up to just before the door.
You're at the base of the little passageway that leads up to the room with the water in it.
Yeah.
You've basically forfeited a move by doing that.
Yes.
He has, yes. For you, Burple.
Because the next, I'm guessing that Alessandra and that crew, they can't move up to me and do something. And so the next round...
We kind of want them to not know where we are.
Then I'll change. What I'll do is I'll come into the same room as you, Burple.
And close the door.
And, well, no, I
no,
can
you
take
can't.
free action to open it, but Burple can decide what he wants to do.
That's
then.
not. That makes no sense.
Why not?
Because if they're out in the
Because-
corridor, we still have to run across the corridor and they'll see us.
I don't think they're going to get into that corridor in the next round because
I think it's unlikely,
Alexandra's
but
in
it
the
is
way.
possible. Yeah, but are both those doors closed?
One of them is.
One of them is,
The second door is closed, I think.
but the first door is open.
They've got to kill Alessandra and then move. I think.
No, but she might want to move.
Tonight's beer, by the way, is Cloudwater Pale. Delicious.
Hazy Jane Brewdog. Rather nice. Mixed with Punk as Fuck.
Mixed with what, sorry?
Punk as Fuck. The alcohol free.
Oh, yeah, okay.
North London tap, sparkling, double filtered water.
You've resupplied, have you, Johnny, with...
Yeah, I got quite a big supply. Actually.
Big re-up.
Just
Yeah.
it's free flowing. Just open the, turn the tap on, it all comes out.
So how many of these canisters have you got? Is it like no naked flames in the kitchen, those kinds of rules?
I do have rather a lot.
Okay.
I get a 4-pack each time. So.
I mean, it might be the wrong move, but I'm happy with that move.
Okay.
I think you may need that heal. So
Yeah.
Well, are we moving on?
I think I can...
But I
Get
wouldn't.
through
I
them.
wouldn't come in here. I would go back to where you were.
Okay. And then
Mind you,
I'll do
they
that.
might see you and do some spell. No, they can't. They'll have to move, so they wouldn't be able to. See.
Yeah.
I quite like the idea of Parker and Burple having this hissed conversation in the doorway.
Yeah.
Okay, so Parker, you've healed Burple,
And moved
Yeah.
and
And
done the
then
original
move
thing.
on. Then
and then
moved
you've
on.
gone the original thing, which is to go
Yeah.
heading on your way out, but not
Yes.
quite making it. Burpledy-herpledy-derpledy.
Okay. Well,
What do you wanna
Burple's
do?
going to peg it,
Jump in the water.
dive in the water.
Gracefully,
Yes.
leaving just Parker behind in the kind of main
And
transverse
Alessandra.
corridor. Yeah. And we're moving on to Alessandra. It is your turn. There's a door next to you. The creature that was Hesty Testapod seems to be a kind of berserking, crazed orc with a giant axe. And something that looks like Marzana, but you suspect really isn't Marzana, is queuing up behind him, but it is your turn.
I'm going to interact with the object, so I'm going to open the door. I'm going to take the disengage cunning action, so I can move without attack of opportunity.
From either of them, right?
From either of them. And then I'm going to move.
To the door. To the other door.
Now, my question is, these beds,
Yes, what about them?
if I was to move,
It's not
And
a time to
hide.
go for a kit, Paul.
hide, I'm going on a long rest, hide under
Incredibly short rest, yeah.
hide under a bed.
They're described as comfortable beds, Alessandra, which
Excellent.
I am going to assume means
A divan.
divans or whatever it is, right? But whatever, they have legs. I mean, they're not just like a kind of pallet on the floor.
Yeah.
And they're not like a kind of weedy little bunk. They are substantial with bedding.
A divan
and-
is it like a box?
Yeah, divans
Yeah,
are
it's
boxes.
not-
No, I'm backpedaling off the divan
Okay,
thing because that would
okay.
be incredibly cruel. Unless they have one of those drawers that slides out, and then you kind of open that, and it's full of stuff, and you're frantic. That word "comfortable" tells me that there's bedding, including potentially like a
Drapes.
bedspread and so forth.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm being super nice here.
You are.
Are you?
Yeah, I mean, it's to compensate for the fact that I'm being absolutely awful everywhere else. Yeah.
I'm going to dive under the bed, which is up against the wall,
Yes.
and I've got a stealth of 9. So I'm gonna. What I'm hoping I'm going to.
Before you set upon this course of action,
Yeah.
for like the third time, that door between the room you're in and the corridor
It's closed.
is closed.
I can't open it
Right.
because I've already opened one door.
But you can move to it. So if he's got a spell,
I'm not thinking about the mechanics of opening or closing the door. I'm thinking about the significance of a closed door. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, wait a minute. If Yes, if it's a closed door, it's likely that they're going to search the room. If
Exactly.
I just stand by the door, they can't attack me anyway.
Exactly. Unless they've got spells.
Unless they've got spells. Unless...
But even then, they probably can't get a line on you from
Unless
just
I
a move.
actually stand
Paul.
next to the door.
They can't take attacks of opportunity against you. It's not they can't attack you. If they can move up to you, they can still attack you.
But they're going to have to... They can't
They'd
move.
have to move.
You sure?
Well, it's 70 foot away, unless they've got an amazing movement.
It's not 70.
It's
but
30 to the door. 35 they could be.
So 40. They'd need a move of 40 to be able to get to you.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
25, 30 to where Paul is there.
You're enjoying this, readers.
Yeah. 35 to there.
Yeah, the barbarian might be able to move that fast. Just
Yes, barbarians move fast.
Okay, so that's a good point, Graham.
Could you close the door of the mirror room? And
No, because
try
I've already
and fire?
interacted with. I've already interacted with.
However-
No, as an action.
However,
No.
yes, that's what. Why not? If you'd have an opposed strength test, right? So you could try and hold the door closed. That gives you
and
an
the next
opposed.
round, Parker can open the other door, and you can run back through it. You're just slowing them down. So he's going to use his action to try and open the door.
one option would be to move right up to the other door, in the hope that means
yes.
they can't. They have to move to get to you, so
Yeah.
you don't get attacked. If you stop
I
there,
think-
they potentially can attack you.
Yeah, I think that's probably the thing. I'm going to move up to that door.
I'm not saying that's the wrong thing to do, but he did a 11 dice fireball, right? So
But he did it as a different character. He's morphed into something else now.
Yeah, we did.
does that mean he can't do the? Does he inherit spells?
Who knows?
The other thought that occurs is it's 30 for them to get to there. So assuming they've got a move of 30 and not greater, although Graham is saying that if you're like in this line inside the room, there's no line of target to you.
Yeah.
But then they can move in and just block you in.
Okay, I think
So I
the
think
meta game,
Yeah.
micro chess has. I think that's enough. Alessandra's making a split-second decision about what to do.
I'm going up the door.
The next person to act is the orc, and the orc has got that kind of movement. You were very wise to move those extra squares. You can get to 1 square away from you, Alessandra, and then it goes bloop, and it turns back into Hesty Testapod. Behind it, you can hear Marzana padding up, and she appears in the doorway behind Hesty. Yes, but can't,
Yeah.
And we go on to the swimming pool, and it's Uncle Buggy on 19.
Bree Bugraft. He's going to start swimming as fast as his little legs.
I mean, there's a ladder running down the side of this column, which you can pull your way down, and then still underwater, you have to swim along a passageway.
Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going through.
So you're going as
To the
fast as
north.
you can.
Yeah.
Okay, and onto the other map.
Yes.
So we'll just sort of slightly abstract you from now, Bugraft, but you're currently heading towards the shaft, the water-filled shaft with the barrel floating in it. The next creature to act is the Mind Flayer, but nobody can see the Mind Flayer or the Mind Flayer's pals, right?
No.
Okay, so we will draw a veil over their activities, and we move on to Sessions's action. I presume are you treading water? I mean, or are you
No, I'm
underwater?
pulling myself down to the bottom.
You're pulling yourself down to the bottom and doing the same thing as Uncle Bugraft.
Buggy, yeah, I'm heading as far as I can
I'm
go.
going to abstract that as well. I'm going to move you off the map. Parker, it's your action.
Did Alessandra see me?
No.
Right.
No, the door is closed.
Then I will move. I assume that Burple didn't close the door,
That'd be very cruel.
so I can walk straight through it, jump off into the water, and you'll have to tell us how far we get through the water. But
You're swimming down, right? So
Yeah,
I'm going to
but
say that
I've
you're
got-
diagonally, trail of bubbles being left behind you, towards the floor of the room, and you can kind of make a bit of progress, and we'll leave it at that.
okay.
Burple, on the other hand, do you want to follow the others?
yes.
We can remove you from the map, and we can pick up what happens to you later into the rotating dives. Sorry, into the
Rock slide,
passageway. Yeah,
blocked corridor,
yeah.
drown.
Into the gobbler.
Through the one-way valve. Alessandra, you're in a tight spot.
Interact with an object to open the door.
Yes.
I can make it to the water next to Parker with a move, and also take a dash action, so I could even go further.
So you're running for it, and you're jumping into the water. One final point of clarity for me.
Yeah.
Are you jumping into the water as soon as you run into the room, straight
Yes.
off the side of the platform?
Yes.
Okay. So you're not risking a glimpse of the passageway.
So I'm going in there, I can make it to Parker, and then I've got an entire dash action where I can go again.
I think that we can draw a veil over the rest of proceedings. You are undisturbed as you swim along the passageway.
Mm-hmm.
You can allow yourselves to float up in the shaft with a barrel in it and reach the rope ladder. I'm just going to open up the other map. Right, here we are. So you're at the top of the shaft in the room next to the room where you were attacked by weird invisible creatures, next to the room where Cuthbert left the short sword of the east wind, spearing a note into the ground. What do you want to do?
Well, Alessandra's going to look at them all and say, shall we go to Eligos? Or do you want to rest up and come back and finish these fuckers off? Because I think we can.
Is there a lid to the trapdoor?
No. Bugraft, can you give me an intelligence check, please? It's a piece of information that you
Not
picked.
very smart, Buggy.
Well, we'll see.
17.
Okay, now you've had a moment to reflect, Bugraft. The odd elfin creatures that were with the Mind Flayer, a little detail that you picked up as you were escaping but has now surfaced in your mind and you're reflecting upon it, is that their boots were caked in some kind of weird yellow powdery deposit.
Mould? Yellow mould? Sulphur? Volcanic?
Caked sulphur, something like that, yeah. I mean, maybe.
From a fumarole.
Mustard.
Curry powder.
Custard powder. I think it was custard powder. They wouldn't be adventuring in an aquatic environment.
Was the water
Things could
cold?
get very
It
nasty.
wasn't hot, warm, or anything.
No, not volcanic or anything like
It's
that.
not a volcanic area.
I mean, there are no active volcanoes that you know of. Not even in the Newell Mountains.
So what's the deal climbing up out of the water, remind me? It's about
Well,
30 foot or something. Climb out.
Yes, I think it's 35 feet and you've got a rope ladder.
In theory, we could rest up in this room and keep an eye on the water and have plenty of warning if we need to do
Well,
that.
is the plan to go back down?
Does Uncle Buggy have any recollection of how he got into the mirrored room?
No, I blacked out with the fireball at the market, and then I woke
Yeah.
up in this room tied up. Yeah. What's the significance of the yellow stuff? Why is Mike hinting at that now? Can anybody think what that is?
We need to
Another
search
way
back in
in.
our minds, something that happened 6 months ago that might have some significance to it.
Is
And
there
also,
another way
there's one
in,
of those
perhaps?
blue elemental things. Is that to be worried about, or is that just basically...
We could just peer into that room and check.
Yeah, just basically.
I'm assuming that you're not just huddling in this chamber.
Well, we're keeping an eye on the water behind us.
I think it would be odd of you not to pop
Yeah.
a head round at least out
Yeah.
the door into the other room
Yeah.
to make sure that there's nothing
There's
kind of
not
moving
a
around.
whole army there. Yeah.
There's no sound of anything moving around or anything like that.
Oh, should we do a long rest?
Well, short rest isn't really going to do very much, is it?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
only,
to
well,
get our hit points back, that's quite important.
I think if we're going to long rest, we might as well go.
No, we can roll.
But we might as well go and visit somewhere in town and see some of the other story points.
We're supposed to be going to see Eligos.
Story points? Oh.
but then these people might get away.
But there may be another way in it as well that we don't know about.
But they might
Is
not.
that what Mike was hinting at with the yellow shoes?
Maybe.
There's another way in.
Maybe you pull the lever as Luke suggested and the passageway rotates round to the other option.
Yeah.
You didn't have anywhere near enough time
Exactly.
to scrutinise the setup of that room. What I would say is there was nothing immediately obvious about like that, as in
Track marks round the wall or something.
precisely nothing that said that's definitely what the case is. But there was also nothing that said it absolutely ruled it out either.
Would Alessandra have any idea about this? Because considering she's a local.
Alessandra, can you give me an intelligence check, please?
Getting a 12.
Nothing springs to mind about what that yellow substance might have been.
Okay.
I need about 20
So
minutes
4
for
hit
a
dice.
short rest. Can we do that first?
Well, should we just follow up, like Graham's saying, on some of the other leads? I mean,
We're supposed to be going to the Eligos.
If we
Alessandra
go away
keeps
from here,
kind of
we won't
reminding
come
you.
back.
You're supposed to be coming with me.
well, we could go and see Eligos then. I think we only came here to work out who was trying to kill us.
Yes.
Well, we know who's trying to kill us.
We've hit a little nest of doppelgangers.
Yeah, but they might...
There might be some
That
treasure.
seemed like the end of level boss. It seems a bit...
I don't think that did seem like the end of a level boss.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, do you mean the Mind Flayer?
The
I don't think it
11
was.
dice fireball. You didn't think that was end of level boss territory.
We're metagaming here very strongly, though.
Because I
Seems
did.
too early in the story, the chapter, to be an
Well.
early level boss.
We've got loads of other stuff we've got to be doing here.
I think the only concern would be if we go away and
Yeah.
spend a long rest somewhere else, they could leave through the way we've just left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm suggesting we take a short rest here.
hmm
Then once we're short rested, we take a view on what we do.
A short rest won't give me enough back to go back down there.
No, I'm thinking we do a long rest here.
The reason why
And then go back
I
down.
don't want to go...
I'm happy to do a long rest
I'm
here and
thinking...
go back down.
So first of all, we got their plans. I'm thinking
Does
also
that mean
if
we're
we
fighting them?
finish them off, it also gives us the opportunity to properly explore and search the place, which we didn't do. And all of that information that we gather there will be useful when we meet up with
How did they get
Elagos.
onto us?
That's what we want to find out, don't we?
Who are these people and why did they
Well, we
come
can
after us?
study those notes while we're doing
Exactly.
a short or
Well,
a
they're
long
I've got
rest,
all the
cultists.
notes.
presumably. That's one of the things we can do.
They were cultists.
But I still think that we have
Yes.
the notes we got from the office, but we still
Okay.
need to explore and
Yeah.
search the whole area where this strange equipment was. Are we sure we'll be fighting the Mind Flayer?
If we go back down, we'll be
Well-
fighting the Mind Flayer. Can we do that?
We can go
Not
and have a
necessarily.
look and see if that door
Well, we've
is
gotta go past
that
it, haven't we?
opening is still
But
there.
it's not going to be just standing there, is it, surely?
Don't forget
No,
that opening
well-
only appeared once we triggered all sorts of other things. That may close up again now we've got away.
So we're going to take a long rest.
If we take the long
Where are
rest
you
here,
gonna
I'm
take the
okay
long
with
rest here?
that. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
thinking
Yeah. Okay.
short rest.
I only
go
need
back
4
down.
hours.
We might be better off long resting in the office room.
We
Or on the cells.
want to make sure.
Why not rest here?
Makes no odds. I only need 4 hours to do a long rest. So if I do 4 hours, then I can
Okay.
stand guard for
All right.
the other 4
Yeah,
hours.
agreed.
So, anything on the notes, Mike, that I stole from the office? We're all going to look through them.
Well, now, yes. So there is some stuff in there. I think it's again. We'll. I keep saying this. This is my favourite phrase, but we'll abstract
Abstract.
this a little. You think?
Can we press the long rest button?
Let's just talk about.
Let's start with the short rest for
Yeah.
the hit points.
Start with a short rest. How much time do we get?
Let's talk about the first
Right,
15
and
minutes.
I will also
so 15
do
minutes.
my
Fine.
heal.
Okay.
Okay,
In
so
those
that's
15 minutes,
3D
I'll be rolling
music.
three
hit dice.
Precisely. Yeah, you can roll 3 hit dice.
Oh, maybe you don't do it.
Oh, that's good. 8 plus
Oh, that's appalling.
12.
3.
6.
Sorry, what?
Does that?
I'm signaling as well while we do this, by the way, so everyone gets an extra
Please.
D6 per hit dice.
Oh,
Wow.
Really?
Yep.
Plus, you had your constitution, don't you?
Yep.
Lovely. Okay, 6 and 7 is 13 plus 8 is 21. Good.
Oh, hang on.
Right, minus
Yeah, you only get
5,
1d6,
then.
not one, not
Okay.
3d6.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I got a stonking
Okay.
1 on mine. That's pretty annoying.
yeah, 5, 23 I've got.
Right, 15 minutes. Uncle Buggy,
Number
you're
6.
casting your eye very briefly over these papers. You think that really understanding what was in these papers is probably beyond you. Alessandra, if you're...
I
looking
think
at some
we're
of
all
these
having a look.
Yeah, but Alessandra is a local.
Mm-hmm.
You recognise at a very quick glance, it looks like a lot of effort has been put into sort of redacting or deliberately not using specifics and names. But it looks like planning documents around a scheme to effectively abduct and then murder, kidnap, whatever, people in positions of influence and replace them with doppelgangers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Your sense is that you would probably need somebody who really knew what they were doing. You would have thought the authorities, for want of a better word, might be the people to actually act on this. Your guess would be that that might actually attract some kind of financial reward.
Oh, good.
You would have thought that investigating these things yourselves is going to take longer than 15 minutes. It's going to take probably a few hours to sift through.
Yeah.
But your quick scan, your sense is that this looks like kind of dynamite in the right hands. Yeah.
Is there any information that can help us in our fight with them?
Can you give me an intelligence check
I certainly can.
if you specifically apply yourself to that question?
10.
You rifle through the papers, trying to work out if you can put together any kind of useful information about what's going on, and you come up short.
Anybody else?
Why don't we
Yeah,
take a
let me have
long
a go.
rest?
I'll have a
Why
go.
don't we
I don't know that we're getting that option.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
Paul.
think, Burple, looking through them, you think that actually the papers, if you were to
Burn them.
assemble them in a particular way and draw lines between all
make
the
a
different
flower.
letters, it would make a map of the cosmos
Excellent.
that you could sell, perhaps for as much as 1 silver piece.
Could I? Does it marry up with the orrery?
Are we still lugging that around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still got that.
Alessandra rolls a 19.
Okay, Alessandra, when you skim through them, let me see now. I think it would be reasonable for you to be able to infer from going through these papers that A, there were not that many doppelgangers in the gang.
Right.
Second thing is there is a figure referred to as T all the way through who seems to be the boss.
Yeah.
And you think that there is something going on whereby this giant plan, that it looks like they've been distracted from the plan. Relatively recently, that T had changed their emphasis of their operations quite recently.
To us?
I mean, that's what you get.
Okay. And is there any information in there about these weird machines that we saw the Hesty guy attached to?
Yes, there may be the occasional oblique reference to whether or not T's apparatus may bring other benefits if the right people were captured.
Ah, so it's some kind of mind extractor.
Right.
Any more is going to take you hours.
I'm going to take a long rest.
Well, we're taking a long rest now.
Okay, and you're setting yourselves up to
Yeah.
watch the...
Yeah.
Choose my words very carefully, but you're spending your time watching the shaft.
Yes.
Okay. About half an hour into your long rest,
Yes.
specifically, who is where and who is watching the shaft? And how are they doing so? And I need you to be very specific.
I will watch the shaft.
How are you watching it?
Have we got
Eyes.
a mirror? I will sit on the north side, crouch down low.
Yeah.
I've got a set of these tools which has got a mirror on mounted on a metal handle.
Right, I'll use that.
Can you give me a perception check?
15 on the die. 17.
Okay, so you're sitting there at the side of the thing. About half an hour in, you hear a splash. Somebody trying to perhaps be quiet and failing to be as quiet as they want to be. It's 35 feet down in the dark to the surface of the water. Mirror or no mirror, it's a difficult one. It's beyond the range of your dark vision. You think you can make out a ripple, a mild kind of disturbance in the sort of reflective pattern of the water down in the darkness, a little bit, and a little bit of a splash.
Well, I alert everybody else.
And how do you alert them? Quietly.
Visually. I'll wave at them.
You wave emphatically to the others.
Yeah.
With hand signals.
Hand signals, pointing.
Let's go around the table. Everybody have an action each. Starting with Session Zeeper.
I'm going to move myself to just out onto the platform.
Oh yes, you're stepping away from out of the room. Yep.
Yep. I'm going to ready an action to toll the dead if an evil Greebly appears within my sight.
Purple.
I'm going to be silent. I'd like to get my spells back, but I haven't. So
Welcome to the land of cantrips.
we haven't identified who's come out yet.
No, you've got absolutely no idea. Could be a fish.
Yeah, right. Well, I do have a daylight left, which is a bit overkill, isn't it? Just sort of
Yeah, I
like
wouldn't
this
worry about it.
massive.
Yeah.
No, because, well, we don't want to alert them to the fact that
Yeah.
we're here yet.
Let's be
Do a
quiet.
daylight
Let's be stealthy.
stuff.
Okay, I'll just sit. I'll just sit and do nothing.
Alessandra,
Alessandra's going to ready an action to move up and engage a perceived enemy.
can you ready a move and then an attack? Anybody?
No.
You can only
No,
ready an
you
action.
can only
ready
ready an
action.
action.
Oh, in case, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to move up next to
Okay, give me a stealth check.
25.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, and then you're readying.
Yeah.
Uncle Buggy.
Oh, just almost dozed off then. Back to the good old days of dozing off. Right, I don't know what to do. I'm worried about another fireball. So, what's the optimal distancing? Or I could go out the room and run in.
You've got to make a split-second decision. And
Yeah.
you're also going to tell me whether or not you're being quiet or not.
I'm moving to the western edge of the room.
Are you trying to be quiet?
Not particularly, no. And I'm readying an action to attack anything that comes up
Yeah. Okay, got it.
with my trident. Throw my trident.
You get a couple of dice
how
rolls.
deep was the shaft again?
How deep is the
your shaft.
Your shaft, how deep is your... No, let's not get into that. So
I have
I've got
60
this
foot
bloody
dark
song
vision.
from Hamilton going through my head.
You'll
Which
be back.
one? Oh.
Do you know it?
Yeah. You'll be back.
Parker, you've still got the
It's
mirror.
very funny.
Yes.
Okay, can you give me a perception check?
Come on. Oh, 3. It's
Okay,
5
no.
in total.
You might hear a little bit more splashing and movement below you.
I do have
But-
60 foot dark vision.
Yes, well, in that case, I think even without a decent perception check, there was something briefly breaking the surface of the water at the foot of the rope ladder
Yeah.
that froze and then immersed itself again.
Okay.
Either a flash of light from the mirror or a bit of sound from where you are up in the room or something has been picked up. That was your sense.
Okay. I will make hand signals to indicate they've dipped back down again under the water.
Yeah, okay. What do you want to do next, guys? It's up to you. 5 minutes goes by, 10 minutes goes by, there's not another sound.
I think we should just continue taking the rest.
Okay, well, you are undisturbed for the remainder of your rest.
Right. Long rest.
Ah.
And
Right.
breathe.
You're not sure what happened there, but potentially something wanted to have a bit of a look, noticed that you were still there, or somebody was still there and shied away again, something like that.
Up and at him again?
Or it could have been a fish.
Yeah.
We move on to the next day, which is the 21st of Fumbulary.
We're still in Fumbulary.
Yep.
Still in Fumbulary.
When was the day at the end of Fumbulary when the orrery was supposed to align and something was supposed to happen?
Today is Urt, the 21st of Fumbulary. Your inspection of the orrery told you that the next conjunction
That was it.
was during a festival called Misrule, and Misrule is a 4-day festival that sits at the end of Fumbulary.
Right. Okay. Right. Mm-hmm.
And on the 3rd day of Misrule, there is a conjunction between the planets Genius and Uterus. That's what the
Yeah.
orrery told you when you wound it on. And then your sense was that to keep winding the handle to the next one, you were going to be there all week, and you
Yeah.
didn't.
So something is going to happen on that day. Right. Okay. So we've got a few days until then.
You have precisely 10 days until then.
Right.
Anyway, let's
Okay.
not get distracted by the calendar because, as we all know, it's
It's
comprehensive,
an orometer.
Crafted.
well-crafted, ironclad. You ventured down here as it got dark, so it's actually early hours of the morning.
I don't know what to do.
Well, let's
Should
go
we
back
go
down
back
again.
down? Should we go back down?
Yes.
All those in favour?
Yep. Why not?
Let's do it. Down we go.
Who's leading off?
I'll go first.
Alessandra as the rogue. Probably not a bad idea.
She's going to go
Right.
down the rope. As she goes down, she kind of looks over to bugger off, and it's kind of like, come on. Can she
Yeah.
roll a stealth, please? Just
Yes.
to make sure that I want to kind of slide quietly into the water. Rolling a 14.
Okay, it's not bad. Yeah, in you go. Parker, standing at the top of the shaft, doesn't hear you slip in. Okay. Yeah, anyway, let's move on. Sorry.
As he actually said to the bishop.
That's what she
What,
said.
do we have to go one after the other down the rope ladder? Will it not carry?
The rope ladder looks like it's in relatively, if you remember, it's in pretty good
Yeah.
repair.
No, I'll follow on down 10 feet behind.
Okay, Parker's following on, and then who's next?
Me, I'll go next.
Okay, and then
I'll follow.
We're all
let's
following.
move you across to the next map.
Okay. So,
I'm keeping a distance from Alessandra.
are you now?
Yes.
You don't trust her, do you?
I do trust her, but she is a probe, and if there's a fireball, I don't want to be in the same radius.
Well, I'm
Alessandra first. You emerge, you swim along. Are you surfacing?
suggesting, before we go down, I'm suggesting that they let me go and be the probe, as it were. I'll come back. I'm going to take a swim around. I'm going to swim underwater to the ladder,
Yes.
and I'm going to do you want me to roll another stealth check? Quietly
Please do.
climb up.
Mm-hmm.
And, 18.
Decent roll. Yep.
Just poke her head up over the edge. Can she see? She's looking towards the Mind Flayer tunnel.
Okay. Are you climbing up the ladder to the top?
No, I'm just literally so I can see.
Yeah, so you're at water level.
Yeah.
You can't hear or see any signs of activity.
But the passageway is still there.
Yeah, the passageway is still there, and from 10 feet below it, all you can really see is the very first bit of its ceiling, and that's it.
Okay, I will keep climbing up until I can see more.
Yeah, it's a dark passageway receding off to the west. It's quite rough-hewn, and you can't see anything in there.
Okay, I will continue to climb, and
The door in the southern wall of the room, the one that's at the end of the little causeway and leading into the main area where you had your recent excitements, is open, but only open by a couple of inches.
I will stealthily make my way up to it.
Give me another stealth check, and then I'm going to just check in with the others. So give me a stealth check now, please.
18.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Parker, you were told to hang back. What are you actually doing? Bear in mind, you can only hang back for so long underwater without,
I'm going to swim to the edge of the pool such that I'm in a position to see what Alessandra has done.
Yes.
And if Alessandra moves through into the passageway, then I will start climbing up the stairs.
Right, so you're watching Alessandra from the surface of the water at the far side of the pool.
From below the surface.
And then the rest of you are following on from Parker. So you can see as you emerge from the subaquatic tunnel, Sessions, Burple, and Buggy, you can see that Parker seems to be treading water above you, and you can see some light coming down. Are you following up towards Parker to also go into a holding pattern?
I'm going to the base of the stairs, the ladder.
You're
pillar.
swimming to the base of the ladder? Yep.
And staying pretty much just peering slightly out of the water so I can breathe, and then popping my head under.
Do you want to try and be quiet while you do that?
Yeah.
Give me a stealth check.
12.
Okay. And Burple and Sessions, what are you doing? Are you hanging around underwater for as long as you can, or are you doing something else?
I want to go round to the hidden part of the pillar and stick my nose out just so I can breathe.
Are you trying to be quiet? Yes.
Yes.
Give me a stealth check. At advantage, I think, if you're just sticking your mouth above the water.
No,
For God's sake. 5.
So,
And I guess Sessions swimming up to kind of the same sort of idea as Burple.
okay. Do you want to make a stealth check?
This round I'll remain under the water. I think I can
Remain under the water. Okay.
hold my breath for...
Alessandra, you've padded up to this doorway. It's open. It opens away from you, I think we established. And it's open a couple of inches. As you did so, you heard a sound behind you from the other side of the pillar, which you think might be one of your friends.
Yeah.
And at the moment that they make that noise, you hear a little bit of an intake of breath really quite close to you on the other side of the door. A kind of like a pause in a breath, like a...
Yeah.
And then a very, very, very quiet slide of perhaps a soft shod foot against stone. Your sense is that there is something probably
The other side of the door.
feet from you. Yeah, maybe not directly on the other side of the door, maybe not leaning on the other side of the door. What would you like to do?
Okay. I'm going to free action, push the door open.
As you swing the door open, Marzena is in the corridor, and she's basically looking straight at you, like she's been watching the door, waiting for this to happen. She shouts, "They're here!"
Oh no.
and darts around the corner. You don't know where to, although you might be able to guess. What would you like to do with the rest of your action?
Well, free action to turn around, look really annoyed at the guys who made all the noise. And then
Yeah, sorry about that.
she's going to go to the end of the corridor and poke her head round quickly. Just poke her head round and back.
What, like a dart? Like you're literally kind of ducking your head and back straight
Yeah.
away? You can see Marzena, and she's made it to the door on the way to the mirror room, so into the anteroom before the mirror room. She's made it to that door, which is open.
Okay.
That is all you can see. She's got her back to you. She looks like she's running.
Okay.
In terms of the corridor, very quickly, all of the doors are closed apart from the one that she's standing next to. So the double doors leading into the area where you found all the charts and the plans, the door to the north, which you think left off to some kind of lavatory, the doors on the southern wall that run along that lead off to little bedrooms, and the double doors at the other end of the passageway, which you've not really interacted with at all, they're closed as well. That's it. I mean, do you want to end your
I'll end
action
around there. Yeah, I can't ready an action, can I?
Well, everybody's aware, so let's have initiative.
Well, okay then.
Well, righty.
Righty ho.
Alessandra gets 4.
Sessions gets 17.
Burple gets a 17.
Okay, Burple is on 17. Sessions gets a 17, is that right?
Yep. An 18.
Okay, Marzana I've rolled for. Buggraft, what'd you get?
11.
11 for Buggraft. One more roll to make for me. Okay, so starting with Marzana, who is at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Can you make a perception check, Alessandra?
17.
You catch her. She glances at these double doors at the end of the passageway
Mm-hmm.
and then ducks through the door to the south, heading back into the other chambers that you've already been to.
Okay.
And runs. You can see her running across that antechamber
Yeah.
and into the room with mirrors in it, and you kind of you lose sight of her just as she turns through that door. She just turns away, but she sort of can you give me an insight check?
Rolling. Oh, a 9.
A 9. There was something more to that glance of hers at the door than you. You think she might have basically been slightly pantomiming that glance, the glance at those doors, trying to make it look like she was furtively glancing at them as she left. But actually, she wanted you to see her do that.
Okay.
And it's now Parker.
Well, up the ladder and along the causeway.
Swimming up to the ladder.
Yeah. And then basically a move action past Alessandra.
Wow, you can run right into that corridor.
Yeah. Do I get a
Speedy.
line of sight down that?
You can see through the door to the antechamber and through the other door into the mirrored room. And in the mirrors of the mirrored room, you can see Marzana running south, but you can't actually draw a line between you and her.
Yes. Well,
And
that's
now
me.
it is Burple.
So what's the deal with getting out of the water?
It costs you 4 squares of movement to get from the water to the top of the ladder,
Yeah.
and it'll cost you 4 squares of movement to get to the ladder.
8 to get to the top of the ladder. I can just get out of the room.
Okay, so you're in the corridor behind Alessandra, just north of the main corridor.
Yeah.
Sessions, you're in the same situation.
Yeah, I guess I will. I'll follow Burple.
As always.
That's
Was
always-
ever thus.
Buggraft, you're at the base of the ladder with people clambering over your head.
Yes, I've been treading on my head.
Yes.
Come on, slow coach.
Every time you take a breath, it's like a foot just pushes your head down under the water.
Grandad.
But it's
we
your
love
action.
you.
What would you like?
Any sign of the Mind Flayer down that corridor, by the way?
There's nobody has seen anything so far.
Okay, can I just point out we don't want to make the schoolboy error of bunching up for a fireball?
No, we'd never do that.
Well, it's
Again.
almost looking like it. I'm coming up the ladder, I'm running along the causeway, I'm running across the T-junction into one of the
Past all the
changing
others.
rooms.
Yeah. Okay. And into one of the changing rooms. Okay.
Hang on, does that mean I'm still in the radius of a fireball?
It would do if there was a fireball went off right next to you in between all 4 of you where you're all very conveniently standing
Right,
together. Yes.
no, hang on, rethink that. Sorry, I'll go down the corridor till I'm standing by the door by the toilet.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's probably a good place for Buggraft to be anyway, isn't it, at the moment,
Yes.
with his history? Alessandra coming in at a weedy 4, for who's meant to be the queen of speed and stealth.
Yeah, I know. She's going to take a dash action to here, and she's going to take a readied action just to shoot at something.
And for the reader's benefit, where are you standing?
I am standing by the door that Marzana went through, but still in the corridor.
Okay, Marzana. Parker, you can see in the mirrors that Marzana runs through the door to the south of the mirrored chamber and closes the door behind her.
Oh, chaps, are we going to run after, or are we going to go through and clear this area here first? Is there any
I
advantage
think
to
feels like a trap to me.
It's a twat.
the twat?
I might
It's a
clear
twat.
the
That's why
rooms
it's so
behind.
yeah, so
make sure
clear
there's
all
nobody
those
in
rooms first.
Yeah. You guys can do anything other than...
I think the main thing is to make sure we're not going to be a target for another 10D
Yeah.
fireball.
Why-
Because we'll just
why
be in the
didn't you-
same position as last time then.
Why didn't you let me go and... If you want me to be the probe, let me be the probe.
Yeah,
And I can't be the probe if you guys are following up.
no, but
making
that's
lots
why
of
I'm
noise.
suggesting we go through and open all those chambers again and check there's nothing in there, so that we know that that area is cleared out.
Let me go in
While
be
you're
sneaky and
investigating.
stealthy, and
Yeah.
I can go and do all that stuff. I mean, we've already ruined the surprise once. Let's just... Then, I mean, they were expecting us now.
Well, I mean, I think they were expecting us anyway. I don't think there was.
The thing is the Mind Flayer collaborating with the Hesty Testapod?
With the Hester Testapod.
No, with the doppelganger. Might be.
Because then we're up against, well, we've really got to thing cut out then if we've got a Mind Flayer and a wizard and a...
No, I'm good. Paul, you go off and do your scouting.
There is this room here that we haven't looked at.
Which room?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am going to go up to the doors, the double doors on the east end of the corridor, and have a listen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. When you do that, the floor gives way underneath you, Parker. The floor gives way underneath you. Can you give me a dexterity save, DC?
Well, I get a
Oh, that's pretty good.
16, 19, 20.
A total of a 20.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You successfully avoid the pit trap. The floor gives way underneath your feet as you step into that last 10 foot of corridor in front of those double doors.
So the whole 10 foot, yeah? Okay.
The whole 10 foot square in front of those double doors. So as you take your first step there, you feel the floor give way underneath, and you just, we're talking about just manage to throw your weight backwards and not topple in. The doors drop open, revealing a pit trap leading down 40 feet. Just making sure I get the right description.
You're just looking at the right pit trap.
I'm just making sure there are so many pit traps. I'm just making sure I've got the right one. Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. I am, yeah. Sorry, not 40 feet. Yeah, no, that was the other one. 30 feet. It's a 30 feet. 30-foot drop, Parker. And then they reset almost immediately. They kind of spring back up into place. What else are you doing?
I will then move back to the easternmost bedroom, and I will go and listen at that door.
You're listening at it. Give me a perception check.
14 in total.
You don't hear anything through that door. And there's sound all around you, but you don't hear anything through the door. Yep.
Okay, so I'll open the door.
It's empty.
Right.
Not the door, but the room behind it. The door is in fact full of door. Completely full of door, right from the beginning to the end.
Well, not now, because it's open.
Well, the door and the door... Let's not get into the philosophy of it. Burple, what would you like to do?
I will move up to the easternmost door, 6 squares, and listen at it.
Yeah.
Getting a 23.
No sounds.
And then I will open it.
And the room is empty.
Okay, that's my round.
Door is not. Sessions.
Oh, shit. Well, they've all left me behind, so I will move up to the other side of the door into the water chamber and shut it behind us. And then I will ready tumbling dice on bad guys that I see.
And then it is Uncle Buggy.
Can I assume to have my sword out?
Yes, you can be assumed to have your sword out. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm moving forward towards the double doors that lead into the office.
Yes.
I'm interacting with an object and opening those doors and peering in. Is anybody in there?
Yes, Hesty Testapod is in there, just waiting on the other side of the desk in the office. As you open the door, he goes, "Aha! Bugraft! How lovely to see you!" And a burning kind of streak of fire emits from the tip of his finger, shoots past your ear, Bugraft, and detonates in the middle of the corridor behind you, equidistant between you and Parker. Do they go round corners, these things, Graham?
It's an emanation, isn't it?
They do. Okay, so and Sessions.
It's 20-foot radius. Surely it's not going to. Is it going to get all of us?
Well, let's put the thing on the map.
Yeah, it might.
Hopefully not.
Let's have a look. See what happens. Oh, boom! Off goes the fireball. It catches Bugraft, Burple, Parker, and Sessions. Can you all give me DC 15 dexterity saves, please?
DC 15 dexterity saves.
Right, I've got my barbarian danger sense, so I get.
Okay, so you get
advantage.
advantage.
Yes.
Oh, that's not a good roll from Burple Herpish. Gets a 10 in total. Ort dice.
12.
12 from Sessions.
Ort dice.
8 from Burple on the Ort dice, which means he's got to roll another D6. He can't make it, can you?
He can't make it, he's...
First thing, Mike, I'm going to use my luck.
Yes.
Can I have my ready to action before he does it?
To re-roll that.
Yes.
Because he did say, Bugraft.
Yeah, he had a readied action.
And I had a ready to action.
Yeah, it's whether or not how we collapse the readied action wave. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were doing a ready action for that door, surely.
Well, this is the thing.
You're watching the door, watching something come out the door, not the other end of the corridor.
I said...
I think that it was reasonable to say that the majority of your attention was on the door you were next to, who you certainly, what was implied in your readied action was that you were watching for that door. Yes?
Okay.
But by the letter of the law, you said that you were watching and that if anything came out, you were going to shoot it. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
I think that you can have your shot. I just don't think that you're going to interrupt what happens. Why don't we therefore resolve it once we've resolved the fireball?
Okay.
Fireball's DC 15, yeah?
DC 15, yes.
Yeah, saved.
So Sessions
Let's
has
see.
made his save
Using his luck,
using his luck.
which I should have done last time, I think.
Parker,
I made my save using my Ort dice.
Burple used his Ort dice but still failed his save.
Yeah.
And Uncle Buggy,
Can I take my bonus action before he fires his thing?
I'm afraid you can't. No. His reaction,
Nice try, though.
nice try, his readied action interrupts your turn at the instant that you trigger it. So tell me about your saving throw.
Okay, so I rolled a 12, the first one,
Okay, so that's a fail.
and
I'm going to.
Oh, well done.
critical
Okay,
save.
you make the save. Okay, so let's roll the dice.
Going to pummel this guy into the ground, I'm telling you,
Okay.
when I get the chance.
If you ever get the chance. I mean, this is the thing, isn't it?
Wait and see.
But we got him cornered now.
Yeah, I'm gonna. He's toast as soon as I get up to him.
Okay, so rolling 11d6.
Even more than
11
last time.
now.
No, it was the same as last time. 11d6.
Okay, now.
He does, with his fireball, a total
Ouch.
of
Oh, still
38
alive.
points of damage, save to half. So 19 if you save, 38 if you fail. Now, Alessandra, there go last like. Your head flips round and you use your radiant action to ping an arrow down the corridor, through the burning fireball, past Parker's ear, past Burple, past Buggraft, and into Hesty Testapod, or somebody that looks like... You don't really know who Hesty Testapod is, by the way, Alessandra.
Yes.
It's a very, very difficult shot.
It's with the crossbow, which has got a range of 30, max 120, so it's 2 range increments.
Over 30, it's at disadvantage.
Over 30 is a disadvantage. First roll is 26.
And then roll the other roll, because 26 is going to be good enough.
Second roll is 27, with a natural 20.
Is a hit. Do you want to gamble? Alessandra, you're
No.
new to the show. I don't know if
It's
you know the
disadvantage,
rules.
isn't it, Mike? You take the lower one.
Oh, you take the lower one. Oh. Mike's new to the game. He hasn't got a clue what the fucking rules are. Okay, well, it's still good enough.
So he 8 points of piercing damage.
8
There's
points of
no
piercing.
sneak attack available to him.
Actual damage on an actual person that you don't like is still a positive thing.
Yeah.
Bugraft, you're still moving.
Right, so I moved up and I'm gonna bash. I'm raging and I'm gonna bash him. 2 attacks is my adequate sword.
Mm-hmm.
So add 7 to this. It's 15.
Is a miss.
Next one is a
Nice.
26.
That is a hit.
13 points of damage.
Well, that's not very nice. Ugh.
I don't think I can do much.
Okay, well, he looks a little bit, you've definitely hurt him with that.
I go, "Arr."
Alessandra.
Alessandra's going to take a dash action to begin with. So that enables her to move 30. Then she's going to take a move action, which will enable her to move 30. And then she's going to do another shot. But this is within range. Hitting arm class 23,
Is a hit.
doing 10 points of piercing damage.
20 points, surely.
Oh, you're right, sorry. It's a sneak attack, because Johnny's within 5
Johnny's
foot.
attacking him.
Yeah.
20 points of piercing damage.
20 Punkte auf dem Kopf
Hesty says.
des Monsters.
Surrender.
Bugraft, who is this person you've brought with you? She seems very aggressive. And Parker.
Well, Parker will move up to the door and will do the Fist of Unbroken Air, requiring him to do a DC 13 Strength saving throw.
He fails that saving throw.
Oh, that's lovely. He takes 3d10 damage,
Blimey.
Oh, nice.
20 points of damage, and he is knocked up to the wall and he's prone.
Parker, I seem to have stumbled. You couldn't help an old friend up from the
Let
floor,
me
could
help
you,
you up.
Parker?
Okay, well, let's
Move up and bash him.
Killing blow.
Do I heal myself or do I hit?
Finish him off.
I'm on 11.
I mean, he's taken 20, 40. How much did you do on his bug raft?
15 or something.
I'll do a dissonant whispers on him.
Yeah.
He gets a wisdom save. I'm going to do it at...
Finally, a save he can make. Okay, yep.
When you say that, it's a DC 27 wisdom save.
Finally, a save he can make.
It's a wisdom save DC 14.
Okay.
I'm going to do it at first level.
He makes that save.
Damn it.
Is that it? Does he take any damage?
Yes, he takes half of this. So 7.
Nice.
7 points.
7 points of damage. Okay, thank you very much.
But-
Well, no,
and
not
then-
thank you very much.
Burple steps into the room and shuts the door.
Session Zeeper.
Sessions, I think, will step down to the main passageway.
Mm-hmm.
Then he'll cast Tumbling Dice on Pretend Hesty,
Wisdom save.
DC 14.
He makes that save.
That's very annoying. This door's open, yeah?
For our readers,
The door that Parker looked into.
the door that Parker looked through is open, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to step into that room there.
Okay, it's like a
and-
little bedroom, yeah. Next, it is Hesty Testapod. He's lying on the ground. It takes him 15 feet of movement to stand up.
Mhm.
Then he... Oh, his little
He surrenders.
His little eyes are flicking backwards and forwards like a cornered ferret.
Hello, my name's Bugraft.
He
Say hello to my great sword.
has got to think about attacks of opportuna fish. I mean, does he really want to use the other one of his 3 with his fireballs? And that's just, 1 to 3 he does one thing, 4 to 6 he does the other thing. 1 to 3 he does one thing. Okay, so he's going to cast a spell. Can Parker, Alessandra, Bugraft, can you give me DC 15 will saving throws, please? Wisdom saving throws, I'm so sorry.
Versus
Well,
what kind of...
it's a transmutation spell. Not a charm, not anything like that. Not a fear effect, if that's what you're fishing for.
16.
That's enough.
Wisdom got a 12.
12.
Yes. 19 in total.
Okay, so only Alessandra is affected by a slow spell. You
Okay.
take a -2 penalty to your armor class. Dexterity saving throws, you can't use reactions. You can either use an action or a bonus action, but you can't use both. You can only make one attack around, whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
And your speed is halved.
Mm-hmm.
He was hoping that he was going to get Bugraft in that and then would not draw an attack of opportunity. But he didn't. He's still going to stay where he is. And we go on to Bugraft on 11.
And Buggy is going to hit him with his adequate sword.
Finish him, Red.
Add 7 to this.
Yep.
24.
There's a hit.
And 14 point of damage with the first hit.
Yes.
The second one, I roll an 18.
Is a hit.
17 points of damage.
17 points of damage in total.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. He's looking very, very unwell. It's
And I say
Alessandra.
surrender.
There's a kind of ripple by Graft. Hesty looks at you. Just briefly, there's a kind of flicker in the mask. There's like a sort of grey, you just get an instant. There's a sort of grey creature that you can suddenly see. It's just like hissing, and then it's back to Hesty again. And it's sort of staggering back from you. Alessandra.
So I can't move and attack. I can only attack or move.
That's right.
Well, I might as well.
Go home.
Might as well go.
May as well tear up your character sheet.
Alright then. I will do an attack with the crossbow. Armor class 18.
Exactly what you needed.
Doing 7 points of piercing and a further 4 points of sneak attack, so 11 points of damage.
This thing is teetering. Parker, Alessandra, you hear a noise behind you in the corridor. Burple, you can hear the noise too through the door. And Sessions, it seems quite close to you. Marzana has stepped out of the doorway that she ran through originally, and she's behind you in that corridor.
Okay,
And Parker, it's your turn.
finish him.
You think
Yes.
I could finish her as well?
Parker,
Okay, I'll finish
No.
him. I will move to
I'm secretly your father.
north of him,
Yeah.
and the first.
I've got the
attack-
antidote to the poison you were given as a child.
Oh, is it?
Oh no, the worst possible.
Oh,
It's
did I
the
put you off?
natural one.
The natural one, end of your turn.
Well, no,
It's the end
unless
of
I
your turn,
try.
unless you want to gamble, Parker.
You're gonna gamble.
You're going to gamble, Parker.
Is it worth the risk?
Can you enact an Ort dice?
No. Is it worth the gamble?
Yes.
I think it is.
Dirty.
Okay, we're going to gamble.
Dirty.
So
If you miss again, you have to draw a critical card.
Yes, I know.
Well, here we go. Let's see what happens.
It's a 20.
Do I get the
Now
critical, or
We've
is
got
that
ourselves
just to
into a
negate?
weird loop here.
Yeah.
No, you don't. That just turns that critical miss into a miss. So
Into
now
a
you can
normal
carry on
miss.
with your round as
Okay,
if that was
so
just a
the
normal miss.
second attack. Oh god, this is just ridiculous. Armor class 9. I'm assuming
do
that's
this
a
to me?
miss.
After all that I've done for you,
Yes.
Parker.
What, miss?
And
How can
then
you miss me?
the flurry
Constantly.
of blows. The next one is an 18. That's more like it. That would be an
That
armor
might do
class
it.
20.
That might do it.
Armor class 24.
That
How
hits.
much damage?
I'm going to
How
kill him.
much
That's,
damage?
8 points of damage.
8 points of damage is not
And-
enough.
And then, hold on, I've got one more.
I can't believe you were good to me.
Of
I've always
20.
loved you, you know that.
20 is a hit.
And that will be another 9 points of damage.
Oh, come on.
You put your fist through his face.
Yes.
Yes.
Comes
I
out the
told
other
you I was
side
good.
and you hurt your knuckles on the wall. And it collapses to the floor. It's a grey, smooth-skinned monstrozoid.
Yeah. Presumably, Marcena sees this happen from where she's standing.
Parker, Bugraft, Alessandra, on this creature's forehead there is a distinctive symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And Bugraft, you recognise it. It's the coiled tentacle symbol that you saw on the giant belt buckle of the Mind Flayer.
Right.
Okay. Lovely.
So is it it's been controlled by the Mind Flayer?
Well, that's a separate. I mean,
Possibly.
now we're getting into the realms of speculation and craziness. Anyway, so
The
anything else you want
last
to do, Parker?
action of my move is I'm going to move into that corner.
Burple, it's your turn. We are getting into the last nibbles of this.
Unfortunately, I'm going to heal myself and do a cure wounds 2nd level.
Sessions.
Quite understandable.
You know that there's some sound from the corridor to your north.
Sigh.
I will. Yeah, so okay, I'm going to step out. I'm going to cast Tumbling Dice on Marzena.
Wisdom save. She
Okay.
fails it.
Is she wounded? I presume not.
She's not wounded, no.
Okay, 9 points.
9 points of damage. Okay, yeah, well, that still seems to affect her.
Then I'm going to move across the corridor, open the door,
Yes.
and then I'm going to use my bonus action, which is my. What's it called?
Cloak of Shadows.
Cloak of Shadows to go invisible. I'll press myself against the wall.
That would have been Hesty, your friend and mentor, but Parker has for some reason decided to take against him and destroy him. Instead, it is Bugraft.
But Bugrass running
I mean,
through the
if
double
it is
doors.
the real Parker. Sorry, yeah, Bugraft. Yep.
Through the double doors into the corridor. And I'm
You're
going
nothing
to
if persistent. Or
throw my trident of returning.
You've just been waiting to do this, haven't you? Okay,
Plus
here we
7
go.
to hit. 9. The thing is, does it instantly appear in my hand? Can I throw it again in my other action?
Ooh.
Yes. It's instant.
Yes, if you can make 2 ranged attacks in a turn, which you can.
Yep. I roll a 1, but I'm a hobbit, so I'm rolling again.
Mm-hmm.
You roll a 4, but you're a hobbit, so you miss.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so that was... There we are.
Brrr.
Alessandra?
Am I still slowed now that Hesty's dead?
No, it was a concentration spell.
It was a concentration spell. Brilliant. She's going to do a dash action, and then she's going to do a move action, and then she's going to do an attack action.
Okay.
And for the first time ever, she will do the crossbow.
What, point blank range?
Yes.
I think you attack at
No.
disadvantage. No, okay.
I take it that's a miss.
An 11 is a miss.
And then I'll attack with the rapier,
Yep. Wow.
hitting armor class 20,
Which is a hit.
doing 11 points of piercing.
She spins round, hisses at you, and strikes at you with her slam attack. She hits armor class 22.
Yeah, that'll be a
The
hit.
first attack doing a total of 6 points of damage. And with the second attack, she hits armor class 18,
That's a hit.
doing a further 7 points of damage. And now it's Parker's turn.
I will just do a produce flame. Armor class 23.
That's a hit.
9 points of damage.
Burple?
Burple is going to step out into the corridor and will do another Dissonant Whispers. So Wisdom save DC.
She rolls an 11. That's not enough.
Okay, so she takes 11 points of damage and has to use her reaction to run away.
She runs through the door away from you. Alessandra, would you like an attack opportunity?
Yeah, I'd like an attack of opportunity. Hitting on plus 10.
That's a miss. Sessions?
I will move just behind Alessandra.
Yes.
I
You
think I
can
have
see
a
her.
line
She's
through-
just run through the antechamber and into the room of mirrors.
And I will tumbling dice on her.
She makes a saving throw. It's a wisdom save, yeah.
Yeah.
She fails that save. She rolls a 5.
Right, now I get to roll the
Yes, she's been wounded before.
15.
She staggers as she's running away from you. Bugraft.
I can move up to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Can I fire through my trident through it? Do you think I've got a line of sight?
Yeah, she's just standing in the doorway of the other thing. Yeah, you can throw a trident at her through the doorway, yeah.
I'll throw the trident. So the first one is a... second one is a...
Much better.
Oh, 16.
16 is a hit.
I rolled a d6 and a d8.
Yes.
7 plus...
Your trident spears through the head of Marzana, and as she collapses to the ground, she reverts to her slick, grey, monstrosoid form, and you have defeated the doppelgangers of the Sodden Hold.
Yay!
What do you want to do? You're sort of given free rein now, I would say.
We
Loot the
want to
bodies.
lock that door to the pool
Search the place.
and then search the place.
Okay.
Yeah,
Being
but we're going to be
wary
very
of
careful.
behind
I'm not
traps.
gonna. Yeah. Well, you know about the pit traps in the main room.
Yeah.
We know there's a...
This apparatus looks
room.
complex. You might want to grab a couple of pieces of it to take it to somebody who might know what they were doing. It's too big to move the whole thing. It looks like
There's also the room to the east beyond the pit trap.
if you spend a little bit of time investigating those doors, they're pretend doors.
Right,
That's
okay.
something you learn early on. All of the bedrooms are pretty much uninteresting. They seem to have every type of clothing. Well, basically, they're costume. They're like changing rooms. Clearly, the doppelgangers were using them as a sort of their quick change resource. And you can kind of see how one of them might have very quickly cobbled together a Cuthbert-like costume. The planning room, it's called, the room with the tables in it where you just defeated the boss.
Hesty.
Well, you know. Was it Hesty? Is it really Parker? That room, you think you've basically taken everything of value and interest from that room. Now, the room with the apparatus in it, the big sort of throne room, that apparatus is too big to move.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in bag of holding?
It's too big for... I don't think you can get it through the opening of the bag of holding. Otherwise, there's nothing in theory to stop you doing that. How does it work with a bag of holding? Anybody know?
It's
Can you put a
basically
grand piano in a bag of holding? Or do you
No,
have to
I
be able...
think you have to be able to get it through the entrance.
Right, so I don't think
you?
that's going to work. You think it's something to do with... They seem to be gems that look like they're some sort of storage or battery device. They rest on plinths that are connected by snaking cables that run to this head thing that Hesty was wearing. Not quite sure how that all works. You'd have thought the best thing to do might be to find somebody who knows what they're talking about and get them down here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're in the middle of nowhere.
Can we sketch it?
Yeah, you can take little sketches of what you can
Yeah.
find, and you could take a couple of pieces, samples of the equipment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You find at the back of the throne a secret door that sits just to the side of the throne, and opening it reveals a secret chamber. It is filled with very ostentatious accessories and accoutrements. The little lair or secret room of a very kind of vain, shallow person.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out to be Paul's house.
Oh.
There's also a bed, a wardrobe, there's a desk, there's a small table. The walls are covered in rich red velvet curtains that turn out not to be traps. There is a strange rug on the floor where the patterns keep changing as you look at it. There is a large mirror in one corner. That rug you think is magical, but you don't think it does much more than what it's doing. There's a chest. When you search Hesty Testapod, which of course you do and don't forget to do,
Mm-hmm.
he has got...
Got a key on his...
I wouldn't put it past us.
He has got a key on him, which opens a chest in that room. When he sort of runs through all of his forms, all of this equipment, all of this stuff that he was sort of somehow subsumed into his forms, all kind of crashes out of him. There's a +1 frost great axe. He has a +2 ring of protection.
Oh, hello.
He has a wand of cure moderate wounds with happy stick written down the side. And he has a key, and the key opens the chest in his room, which...
It's got even more magic in.
Well, no, not really. It's got lots of very fine clothing and about 500 gold pieces worth of jewellery. The only other thing that you find tucked away in the corner is there's a scroll of Dominate Person, and there's a scroll with a little message on it. And the message reads, I have a task for you, Thrall. Meet me at the sewer junction beneath the cold forge, and I will give you the details. There are some troublesome small mines that must be removed, and the document is signed with that same spiralling tentacle symbol that is on this guy's forehead and was on the belt buckle of the Mind Flayer.
So it's the Mind Flayer is in control.
And as you look through all of this equipment and all of this treasure, and you learn more about what has been going on, you realise that it is, of course, the day of Urt, the 21st day of February. And on the day of Urt, the blessing of Urt descends upon you, and you are elevated to 7th level. And we will pick things up next week.
Hey, 7th level. Can't wait.
Does it do anything?
Probably not.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. The Hall of Harsh Reflections and Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. The Hall of Harsh Reflections was written by Jason Bullman. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening!